reached a final decision regarding whether this evidence merits legal action. Attorneys for the Trump Organization and the Trumps did not immediately respond to requests for comments overnight. Last month, James' office issued subpoenas for the three Trumps after another of the president's sons, Eric, testified for the probe back in 2020. After those subpoenas were issued, Trump family lawyers filed a federal lawsuit to halt the civil investigation, claiming it was politically motivated. This investigation is separate, but it is running parallel to a criminal investigation into the Trump Organization being led by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. In that case, the company and its longtime chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, were charged last year in a tax scheme to which they pled not guilty. So, Joe, a lot seeming to close in on some potential members of the Trump family and, of course, Donald Trump himself.
Well, and Jonathan Lemire, this is no surprise at all. Anybody that's ever known Donald Trump or spent more than 5 minutes with him know if you're out golfing with him, he'll, give you a cup of water. Say, see that cup of water? My picture's on it. It's worth $10,000. I mean, he exaggerates everything. He's constantly inflating, overinflating the value of things, getting in fights with Forbes on how high he should be on the list. And it's actually just been a shtick. Is yet another thing that Donald Trump does in the light of day. The question is now, will the Attorney General, will the Manhattan DA be able to apply any charges, any penalties for Donald Trump doing what he's been doing now for 50 years?
Yeah, this is what he's always done. Certainly, as a political candidate, he'd go to you'd have one of his rallies, and he'd say not only was there a crowd there, but there'd be 20,000 people outside, and the reporter would be outside and go, no, there isn't. I mean, he exaggerates. That's what he does. Everything's the biggest, the best, the most expensive, the most valuable. That is what he does. It is part of the shtick. It is part of why his branding is so important. He tried to make the sell as such a successful businessman, which was his original pitch back in the 2015-2016 campaign. But this predates politics, and that's what we're getting at here. One of the more noteworthy Trump exaggerations is Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, where he lived for a long time. He exaggerated its height by 10 stories. It's a 58-story building. He would say it'd be 68, just because it sounded more impressive. And
just because. And the Attorney General notes, and is switching to a more perhaps serious matter, that his apartment, his triplex apartment penthouse in the Trump Tower, he claims it's 30,000 square feet. It's actually about 11,000 square feet. So he exaggerated by a factor of 3. But those things seemingly are harmless enough, except they're not in this case. When you inflate valuations of property of your businesses to whether it's for investors or for tax purposes, that's a serious matter. And it hasn't come to criminal charges just yet. But certainly that's why Attorney General Letitia James is trying to use this moment to force testimony from not just the former president, but 2 of his 3 adult children. Well, and Willie, we've heard from legal scholars that, of course, Donald Trump exaggerating the value of things actually at times can be harmless, but there are legal ramifications also, obviously, if you're doing it to get bank loans or if you're doing it and then undervaluing your assets to the IRS. So obviously a lot of implications here. And as we're talking about him exaggerating the size of his building, it takes us back to 9/11, whereas the buildings were falling and the rest of New York and the world was mourning the loss. It was Donald Trump that got on the telephone and said, now I have the largest building, the tallest building down at World Trade Center. Of course, that wasn't even true.
Yeah, I think he called into Larry King to make that declaration on September 11th. By the way, you're kidding about the water with his face on it. Anyone who's been to a 5-year-old's birthday party at Woolman Rink in Central Park, each kindergartner is given a bottle of Trump Ice with Donald Trump's face on it. So that's a nice take-home for the kids. But he does build in what he says is his brand into the value of these companies. So if it really is only a $20 million property, he says because it's his, it's $100 million and all that. So that's part of what Letitia James is combing through here. So that's one piece of the civil trouble for Donald Trump. Meanwhile,